Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Julian Grace. Well, it was chilly today and is going to get even colder overnight. Anthony Baglione is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. And Anthony, people who already planned are going to have to take some proactive measures for tonight, right?
For sure, Julian. Yeah, that growing season here starting in short order for us as we head out across the area. But as far as what we're looking at into tonight, freeze warnings are out there in that purple color contour. In the blue, that's a frost advisory. The difference being just a touch colder as you get toward the freeze warning areas. Anywhere in our viewing area, though, if you have put plants out, if you have sensitive plants outside, I would bring those in tonight. Make sure to protect them. It will be a quick warm up tomorrow, but starting off pretty chilly for us on our Monday. We're in the 50s currently out there, 56 in Raleigh, but check out these temperatures here. This is a Futurecast model out the door for your Monday early on, 7 o'clock, right around 34 there in Raleigh, 33 in Durham, below the freezing mark in Roxborough, 35 in Fayetteville. Everyone, let's say low to mid 30s waking up. We see a little bit of a rebound, though. These are morning temperatures. We're at 34 Monday morning, 38 Tuesday morning, and then, Julian, we get into the 50s there Wednesday and Thursday. It will come with a big trade-off. We're tracking a pretty potent storm system that's going to head this way. We'll talk about how much rainfall we could see from that here in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Anthony. We will catch back up with you in a few minutes. Well, local strawberry farmers are taking steps to protect their crops from the potential freezing temperatures. Danny Page owns Page Farms of Raleigh. He says around 4 or 5 a.m. tomorrow, he'll be spraying the plants with water to form a protective ice coating.
Right now the strawberries are in a bloom, and what we got to do is protect that bloom from the frost. Most time we're about 10% this time of year. We're past 10%. Some farmers are already having strawberries coming in. We're going to be somewhere around the 1st of April.
Page says he plans to open his farm for public strawberry picking in the second week of April. Let's hope it warms up. Well, we're keeping our eyes on this situation right here. A man with a gun is on the run in Raleigh this evening. He escaped arrest earlier in the day in a struggle that led to a police officer firing his weapon. This happened at Greencastle Townhomes just off of New Hope Church Road. WRAL's Carly Haynes is live there now. And Carly, this investigation has been going on for a little while now.
It has, and they've just taken down that crime scene tape. But a little earlier, Raleigh police had this entire section of this townhome community blocked off, and still blocked off even 7 hours after that initial incident. Now, this suspect still on the run. We want to show you what things looked like just a little bit earlier. RPD got the call about a man with a gun in this area just after 11 o'clock this morning. When officers arrived, they saw a person matching that description. An officer tried to arrest them. There was a struggle and the suspect started to run. The preliminary investigation found that the officer fired during this exchange. No injuries, but there was property damage. We saw damage to a car windshield and a shingle of a home. RPD then blocked off this area while they conducted their search for the suspect and asked neighbors for any information. I do want to reiterate, Raleigh police say this suspect is still on the run. They are actively investigating, but they want you to report anything that you see that might be suspicious. Julian.
Residents will stay on alert. WRAL's Carly Haynes live in Raleigh tonight. Thank you, Carly.
And happening right now at 6:04, crashes causing delays on I-40 East in Wake County. Take a look. It is this red spot right here that drivers should be aware of that crash near Wade Avenue, exit 289. NCDOT says lanes are closed, but it's unclear how many right now. At least one, but it could be as many as 3. So stick with us for any updates there in the Live Center.
All right, thanks, Megan. A person was hit by a car on Capitol Boulevard this afternoon. Our breaking news tracker was on the scene near Buffalo Road. Raleigh police say the person who was hit was taken to the hospital. Police are working to learn more about what led up to the person being hit by a car. Now take a look at this scene from our breaking news tracker. All of this caused by a leaking lithium battery. A fire broke out on Guilford Circle in Raleigh this afternoon. The fire started in the garage and spread to the home. You can see the battery that started it all, part of a motorized bicycle. Firefighters say no one was injured. Fayetteville officials are investigating an apartment fire that broke out this afternoon. The fire department says they were dispatched to the Heights at MacArthur Park on Cassell around 2:15. Crews on the scene saw heavy smoke coming from the apartment building, and they worked to put out the fire. They say the fire was isolated to one unit. No one was injured. Well, President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris will visit Raleigh on Tuesday. They'll attend a private fundraiser in Raleigh where the lowest donation to attend is $3,300. And new tonight, we've learned that Biden and Harris will also be delivering remarks during their visit. Again, that's happening on Tuesday. WRAL will provide coverage of the visit. An emerging threat to the 2024 elections: artificial intelligence. State and federal officials are scrambling to prepare themselves and the public as the election season heats up. They're trying to police AI-generated robocalls and fake videos that could spread misinformation about political candidates, even about where and when to vote. WRAL spoke with experts who urge action and state lawmakers about whether they'll take any action before November. Find out what they said and read tips on how to spot fake ads at the NC Capitol section of WRAL.com. NC State will host its first webinar on the topic of poll hall tomorrow. The university, as you may recall, abruptly closed the education building last fall following concerns of heightened rates of cancer in people who worked or studied in the building. In November, testing confirmed high levels of cancer causing chemicals, PCBs, inside. PCBs can cause a wide variety of health issues like respiratory problems, cancers, and developmental issues in children. Since the closure, WRAL 5 on your side has independently confirmed 152 cases of cancer in people who worked or studied in poll hall. WRAL began collecting the reports after NC State said it had no plans to keep records of illnesses and cancer in people who spent time in poll hall. In an exclusive interview with Chancellor Randy Woodson, he told WRAL's Keely Arthur that the university won't be able to respond to specific health questions until more building testing is completed.
And there's so much anxiety around the fact of, was I exposed? Am I going to get sick?
And we're working on it as quickly as we can.
When do you think people will get answers, and what kind of concrete health answers do you think you're going to be able to provide?
Those answers can't come soon enough for many. The chancellor says testing should be completed by the end of April. The meeting is only open to students and staff, but will be put online later. We will provide updates on what's discussed on air and, of course, online. The NCAA tournament is moving into what we call the sweet spot this weekend. Well, NC State will play Marquette in the Sweet 16 and Friday in Dallas. UNC will wait until the evening to see if they will be playing Grand Canyon or Alabama on Thursday in Los Angeles. The Duke men are still trying to punch their ticket to the Sweet 16. WRAL's Pat Welter will be in Los Angeles and Chris Lee in Dallas. Our live coverage starting on Wednesday, and the dance goes on. Well, it's still getting crazy out there. Still no Powerball jackpot winner after last night's drawing. So that means you still have a chance. Tomorrow night's drawing, the grand prize is $800 million with a cash value of nearly $385 million. And Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is even bigger, $1.1 billion. The cash options there is nearly $526 million. You can watch both drawings live on WRAL at 11 p.m. All right, we still have so much more to talk about. Hundreds of people packed Wake Med Soccer Park in Cary today, all with the same purpose: to fight cancer. Learn about the team of high school students that worked to put on today's event. Plus, Shaw University held its first ever TED Talks. Hear about the innovative and forward-thinking ideas shared today. Here's a nice shot from the tall tower right now, looking over southeast Wake County. Welcome back. Hundreds of people packed Wake Med Soccer Park in Cary today, all with the same purpose: to fight cancer. As WRAL's Laura Levine reports, this 5K was all organized by a team of high school students, hoping to raise awareness and funds for research.
Runners line up to the starting line for a race to save lives.
A lot of members in my family have been affected by cancer of all different types, and being able to run for them in this, it's truly a great cause.
Students from Ravenscroft High School raised more than $90,000 for this year's 5K, running over cancer.
I'm really excited to be a part of it. It's been a lot of hard work and a lot of emails and a lot of late nights, but it's been extremely worth it.
These young people have accomplished so much to pull this together.
It's very challenging. You kind of have to learn how to project your voice out into the world, especially as a high school student. Reaching out to these big corporations.
They learned how to get sponsors and work with organizations to support the American Cancer Society. More than 400 people came out.
I lost my grandma due to cancer, and that was about a year ago, so I really wanted to come out here and raise a lot of money for her.
As participants walk or run on the track, they reflect on each step aimed at getting closer to the goal, curing this disease.
It brings not only awareness, but I know there's programs through the ACS like the Hope Lodge, which my grandmother was a benefactor from, and she got to stay for free while she was getting her treatment.
This honor banner allowed those impacted to remember the lives lost. Even Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton's recent diagnosis is a reminder no one is immune.
Cancer can affect anyone. It doesn't matter who you are. Like, it has touched almost everyone's lives in some way or another. And so fundraising for it and like getting patient support, getting research money, like it's so important.
It really encourages all of us to take each day for what it is and not take any day for granted.
Laura Levine, WRAL News in Cary.
The students are making such an impact. Now, since this event began in 2012, students have raised well over $1 million for the American Cancer Society. Way to go. A big talk today at Shaw University. TEDx Shaw University debuted it, spotlighting the enduring significance of HBCUs in education. Shaw is the second HBCU to host TEDx speakers. Today's talk featured speakers like Nakia Carter, an HBCU intern and CBC UNC Diversity Fellow. We know her well. Now, she and her fellow visionaries showcased their spirit and innovation while sharing forward-thinking ideas.
I'm just really happy to be here as a student representing Shaw University. I think it's important that I am, highlighting what other students can do. The world is full of opportunity, and I think it's important at specific events like this to shine your light because you don't know how many other people you can honestly inspire doing that.
Hey, mark my words, Nakia is going to do big things. Well, today's debut also represents a significant milestone for the university. It acknowledges how important it is to have different voices shaping the future while sharing ideas that promote positivity. Excellent. Triangle Veg Fest made a triumphant return to Raleigh today. The event featured plant-based delights and family fun at Moore Square. With more than 50 vendors, festival goers indulged in animal-free treats while enjoying live entertainment. Veg Fest promotes the benefits of plant-based choices and supports vegan-friendly businesses.
I am here to show people that there can be bacon vegan bacon that is actually good, and show them that it doesn't just have to be like other bacons that is just salt.
Vegan bacon, I've never had it, but now I want to try it. All right, today's event was the group's 10th year and a milestone as well. And the next Vegan Fest, or Veg Fest, I should say, is already planned for September 15th at Durham Central Park. For more information, visit the group's Facebook page or their website at trianglevegfest.com. They have all the information right there for you. Anthony, it was a chilly morning, and we have to prepare for a chilly evening as well.
Yeah, now that the official growing season has begun, Julian, we have these freeze alerts that came out this morning, and it's going to be chilly for us waking up into our Monday. We've seen cold temperatures getting close to freezing here recently. The past several days ago, we saw them close to freezing. But as far as, like I said, now that the growing season is out, the National Weather Service goes ahead and issues these products that we have out there right now. A freeze warning is outlined in that purple color contour and a frost advisory in the blue. That distinguishing kind of factor there can get a little bit confusing. What that's saying is below 32, that freezing mark is the freeze warning. So we're expecting freezing temperatures with that. And then just above freezing is where that frost advisory lies. No matter where you're at in our viewing area, if you have plants outside, if you've set things on the patio, or just planning here tomorrow morning, I would bring those in tonight while you still have some time, just so the plants are happy happy and they don't get affected by this frost that we're expecting. 25-degree dew points. So this is the temperature on the left there in the blue box, the dew point on the right. A lot of times here, the dew point actually, if you had no other technology to look at, it's a very good indicator of where our low temperature could go tonight. So that's essentially saying 56 could drop down to 23 tonight, or 25 rather, on the triangle. I don't expect us getting that low, but we look at the Futurecast model here of our temperatures out the door Monday morning. 34 in Raleigh, right around 30 in Roxborough, 35 in Clinton, very close to that freezing mark. So there may be just a little bit of patchy frost on the car that you may have to scrape off. But as is typical for us here in North Carolina, it's a very quick rebound. 56 at 1 o'clock. We hit 64 tomorrow afternoon. That's about where we should be for this time of the year. It will come with sunshine both Monday and Tuesday, looking great. Wednesday and Thursday, though, we have a lot to talk about with those 2 days. Rain chances really start to ramp up. It's going to be a pretty complex center of low pressure right off of our coast. Looks like the potential is there for some very heavy rainfall. Here's one model. It's a longer range look. Here's we start Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon, scattered showers with us. Watch how dark these color contours get on our Thursday. It really starts to fill in. We have the yellows, the oranges, those darker colors showing up right there, and we could see a lot of rainfall. The majority of our Thursday looks pretty wet at this point. It gets out of here into Thursday night and Friday. We already have a flooding risk outlined from the Weather Prediction Center. This is a low risk at this point. It would not surprise me if we see them upgrade that just a little bit. What that's saying is it's not a severe risk, but it's saying that we could see the potential for some flash flooding where that is outlined. Models are all over the place as far as rain totals are concerned. This is a look at actually a pretty accurate model, usually the European one. Wednesday into Thursday, both of those days combined. If that were to verify, 4.8 inches of rainfall in Raleigh. Do I think we're going to see that much? No. But I think overall, maybe 1.5 inches to 2.5 is a very good bet for us. We're going to watch and fine tune that as we get closer. 66 there on our Tuesday, 63 on Wednesday, a cool down there with the rain on Thursday, Julian. But the nice thing is, look at Easter weekend, 77 degrees on Sunday, and we should be dry for Easter.
Yes, bring it on. Thank you, Anthony. Casey is here with us. Casey, I don't know where to start. So much going on in the sports world.
Yeah, of course. We got the second round of the NCAA tournament, but of course Sundays, Julian, we know are always for the ladies. UNC women hit with the injury bug big time this season, but the Heels still made it to the round of 32, but today they just run out of steam. Meanwhile, Duke women still dancing. I'll tell you how the Blue Devils were able to make an incredible comeback next.
With a team high 23.
Duke women's basketball team has been one of the youngest teams in the nation, but all season, Carol Lawson's group has shown resiliency and growth, and a big reason is because of its relentless defense. A huge opportunity for the Blue Devils today, taking on 2-seed Ohio State on their own home court, where the Buckeyes had lost just once this season. The Big Ten champs looking every bit of it early. Blue Devils would be down by as many as 16 in the first half, but Duke continuing to chip away. Ashlyn Jackson, 8 second quarter points. That would spark a run that would get the deficit to 4 at the half. Later, third quarter, Duke within a pair. Reagan Richardson drives the paint. What a finish for Richardson. That ties the game at 47. Then very next possession, the no-look dish to Delaney Thomas for the Blue Devils' first lead of the game. Reagan Richardson would make sure they wouldn't lose it. 16 second half points. She finished with 28. She shot 60% from the floor. Blue Devils upset the Buckeyes 75-63. They advanced to Sweet 16 for the first time since 2018.
I feel like the lessons that we took away from last year, I feel like we're using them this year and also incorporating them with our freshmen and just our newcomers this year. And I feel like we're just staying together as a team. We're just trusting in our coaches and following their game plan, and we're just staying together.
This is why you coach, man. I mean, to see that growth, and now on a bright stage to be able to see them overcome something that we struggled with during the year, it's really, really satisfying.
The North Carolina ladies taking on the #1 overall seed South Carolina Gamecocks today for a trip to the Sweet 16 of their own. Now, these two actually met earlier in the season. Heels had the lead, and they hung around before eventually falling 65-58. Today, Carolina simply just no match for this absolutely elite Gamecocks team. Part of the problem because Carolina was missing some depth this time around. 3 key players. Meanwhile, the Gamecocks, they've been rolling 33-0 on the season. Now, UNC did hit the first field goal of the game. India Navarre, a little turnaround J, but that would be just one of 7 field goals in the first half. The Gamecocks putting on an absolute masterclass, both ends of the floor, led by freshman Malaysia Fulwiley, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks, 3 steals. South Carolina up 37 at the half. After the break, Heels taking it 1 bucket at a time. Alyssa Usby, she led all scores, UNC scores with 12 points. Absolute dominance, though, from South Carolina, 88-41. Tar Heels season comes to an end, finishing 20-13 on the season.
Well, first off, they're at home. You know, I think it's really great. The growth of our game makes these home games matter. You know, I've been in the game a long time, and only in the last few years, it does home court advantage feel as much as it does now. So that's the first thing, right? And we knew that them playing at home is a totally different thing. And then also, you know, to play these guys, they're so physical and so big, and they've got so much at every spot. It takes an enormous amount of energy, right? And so we played 11 guys the last time we played them, right? We played basically 6 this time.
Heels just run out of gas. Well, NC State, North Carolina men heading to the Sweet 16. Coming up tonight on Sports Extra, we'll break down DJ Burns' big-time performance. Plus, we'll know who the Tar Heels will face in its Sweet 16 game. We're also going to hear how the NC State women are prepared for tomorrow's second-round matchup against Tennessee. It all starts following the 10 p.m. news on Fox 50. Finally, the Blue Devils taking on James Madison for a spot in the Sweet 16. Duke men came out on fire. Someone called mercy. 6 3-pointers from Jared McCain, 22 points. The Dukes only had 25 total in the first half. Julian, Blue Devils up 22 at the break. We'll have a full recap coming up later tonight.
I can't believe you said somebody call mercy, please. All right. Thanks, Casey. And thank you for joining us. Have a great evening. We'll see you a little bit later. Good night.